Rockeyez would like to welcome Chuck Billy Testament. Hey, man, what's going on?
Oh, not a lot.
Cool.
Same old, same old. How are you?
Great. Man, I remember back in the day when I used to see you guys at Lemoore, all them places, because I actually was a staff photographer for a metal magazine called Metal Forces. And I always got to cover you guys, and you put on one hell of a show. When you hear now these days, you guys are the legendary, like, godfathers of thrash. What goes through your mind?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a compliment. I mean, because there's so many branches of metal, so if they keep us in the thrash category, then I guess I agree. Cool. You know, especially where we came up from, being from the area. You know, where, like, for us, a lot of that seems where it evolved from. Right.
Now, originally you were a guitarist, right?
Yeah.
Right, and then what made you change the lead vocals?
Well, my brother's band, I would just go watch them play, and one day they just said, well, their band, everybody sang. Right. So one day they just threw me the lyrics, said, here, you're singing today. And I said, all right. So I sang, and the next thing you know, I said, okay, you're the new lead singer.
Wow.
And so that kind of, from that point, I never really thought about it being that. And so from that point, I went, you know, enrolled in a couple of college classes and took private lessons, and kind of did a few years doing that. So then I tried to find my first, like, real band to play for, and kind of walked into the Testament gig.
Cool. Now, the band started in 1983, 30 years in the business. What goes through your mind? 30 years. People can't even stay at a job 1 year.
I know. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I think what goes through is just we've been actually fortunate enough to kind of, you know, ride that whole wave of ups and downs in the music business itself, and just metal. You know, 80s the metal was very healthy, 90s a little rough, and coming into 2000s it's been building and building, and I think it's probably stronger now than, you know, closer to what it was in the 80s. So it's kind of, you know, fortunate for us that we kind of came out on the other side of it.
Cool. When you think back of The New Order and Practice What You Preach, them albums were huge. You know, I mean, people actually wasn't an actual album back then compared to you know, what we have now.
Well, there's a lot more record stores back then, if you really think about it. You know, a lot more chains of towers and all that kind of stuff, to where they're gone. You know, you got Best Buy and Walmart's now. That's it. You know, and the small mom and pop stores, and of course they're not going to order too much. You know.
Right.
There, so it's, you know, times have changed from back then when major labels were spending a lot of money pushing a lot of records.
Right.
Spent a lot of money on marketing and promotion.
Right. Now you have Dark Roots of Thrash, the DVD and CD. How much input did you actually have in the making of the DVD?
Actually, a lot. I think as far as the planning, camera angles, and how we're going to do it, and we all had a lot. And I think each band member got to have their opinion in the editing, what they liked or didn't like, and it took a little while. I mean, we shot it in February, you know, and finally just came to the final edits probably a month ago. So, you know, we put some time into it, and we're pretty pleased with the final result. Cool.
Now, what is it like actually, you know, getting to do something you actually love when 90% of people hate what they do?
Well, I mean, I think, again, we're fortunate
right.
that, you know, with our job to go to work every day is to do something you enjoy. You know, you try to keep things fresh and different, especially when you're touring and away from home. Keep yourself occupied.
Right.
You know, but it's definitely a little easier. I think the younger days, you know, you drink and smoke a lot more, and, you know, you're battling your hangover all day until you're ready to crack a beer and get back even again. Where, you know, now it's a little different outlook on the whole touring part of it now.
Cool. When you get to travel and get to go to countries like obscure countries that, you know, you really don't get to hear a lot about, how starved are those fans when they get to see you?
Big time. I mean, like we got to go to Dubai for the Desert Rock Fest for the first time, and South Korea in the last couple of years. And you get there and you really don't know what to expect or what the fans are going to be like. And once you get there, it's black T-shirts, long hair, and headbanging. And it's kind of just that same similarity from everywhere we go as far as the style of music. And, you know, we went to Dubai, we met kids from Kuwait and all over the place flying in, you know, that live in a pretty rough environment and don't really get, you know, the CDs in there. They got to, luckily enough, get them on the internet and hear music from the internet, you know.
Right. And like now these days, how much different is the music scene from, you know, back in them Lemoore days and stuff like that? Is it much different?
Well, I'd say as far as performance and a show goes, not a lot. I just think it seemed like when we were starting out, there was much more of a scene and more places to play in every city you go to. It seems like now they kind of, you know, the Live Nations or those kinds of organizations kind of took over and have their venues now. So it's just like anything else. It just turned into more corporate business, I think.
Right. And what's your feeling about thrash these days? It's really, you know, on the uprise, I would feel.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of younger bands still coming up playing. I think the thrash symbolizes rebellious music, and there's always going to be someone who wants to rebel.
Right.
So, you know, I think it's definitely a release, an outlet, you know, of aggressions and, you know, things you do all day. So and I enjoy listening to it, so I get fired up when I hear new bands coming out with stuff that has that little attitude to it.
Cool. How proud are you of your heritage? You know, I hear a lot about that.
Actually, more so currently than in my early years of music. I think once, you know, I beat cancer, and when I had cancer, I actually went that whole route with my native heritage and seen some medicine men and had some healers do some ceremonies, and I got through it the other end, surviving, and so it plays more of a bigger role in my life, and not due to what I'm trying to promote, but all of a sudden over the last, 4 or 5 years, more and more has came up with my heritage as far as, like, you know, like writing songs like Native Blood and having that nominated and winning a Native American Film Festival, you know, getting my display put up in the Hard Rock Cafe in Albuquerque, and I was actually up in the Smithsonian for a display they have called Up Where We Belong, where it's Native Americans and pop culture. You know, so it's being recognized, and it's kind of cool, you know. It's almost like I'm representing the native part of the metal scene.
Very cool. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Do you feel these days there's a problem in the music industry and mostly you could do almost everything yourself?
Oh, you can. Pretty close. I mean, in the early days, you wanted to try to get signed to major labels because they were big machines spending a lot of money, and it cost a lot of money to make records then.
Right.
Now everybody can build a home studio as long as you know what you want to hear and you got a good ear for it. You can make some good music and good records for a fairly cheap amount of money.
Right.
And it seems like the independent labels are the ones who really know what to do with the music.
Right.
There's more opportunity, I think, now, you know, especially with the internet. You can just, as long as you got something good that's going to catch somebody's attention, you can put it out there to the world.
Cool. Now, in them 30 years, do you feel like you missed out on anything in life? You know, being always on the road, touring, studio, anything else, and you feel like you missed anything?
No, not really. I mean, I've been fortunate to have my family involved, and the wife travels with me, and no, not a lot. Cool. I mean, I think I've been pretty blessed with everything that's been going on.
Cool. Now, at the height of Testament, what is some of the things that you had, like, on your tour riders through the years that unique? Anything?
Not really. It's pretty standard, you know. I mean, we've never been that kind of band to really ask for something out of the ordinary.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just been something pretty standard, just long enough to get us by, because there's been times in your early career where you get a case of water and a six-pack and some towels, and that's it, you know? And so if you get more than that over the years, you're happy.
Right. Is there anything you'd like to talk about, to promote that I missed?
Not really. I think just that it's the DVD, and it's a double CD, and it's got really a good selection of our history across the board. 19 tracks on here from early days up till now, and I think this is a really good representation where the band is today, because we're playing a lot more of the current stuff on this, Dark Roots of Thrash.
Cool. Well, congratulations.
DVD, so people are going to dig it, I think.
Cool. I've been listening to a little bit of it at a time, and I've been watching some of the videos that I was privileged to check out. Hopefully, everybody supports Dark Roots of Thrash, and congratulations on such a long career. And I'm happy with Testament. I mean, I photographed you 20 times, and every time you put on a kick-ass show, and I congratulate you, man.
Right on, Brian. I appreciate it, man.
Would you like to say anything to your fans out there?
Just that keep supporting us, and we'll keep trying to put out some great records, and look forward to hopefully a new record by next summer. We start writing a new one in January, so look out for it.
Cool. Thanks very much, Chuck.
All right, Brian.
Bye-bye.
See ya.